Hey lovers, this is PDH for Love on Tour, and welcome to the brand new Norwegian Aqua, the newest innovation at sea. I'm going to take you on a curated tour through all of the cuisine, innovation, and design that Norwegian has put together on their brand new ship. The biggest, the baddest, the most beautiful ship in their fleet, the Aqua. The ship is an elegant expression of maritime design. Unlike past experiences on the Prima, where I found myself lost and not really knowing where I was and how to get where I was trying to go, the ship design this time seems intuitive. Not that there is an overall difference in design, but I just felt like I knew exactly where I was going from day 2 on the ship. It usually takes me 2 or 3 days to really figure out where I'm going, sometimes longer than that. The layout is thoughtful, the ambiance is serene, and the outdoor spaces, well, they're the best that I've seen at sea. They're absolutely stunning. There is so much outdoor seating that when the ship is in good weather, you rarely even see people inside on the ship. There are full day beds at the waterline on deck 8. There are couches and chairs and tables and just beautiful designed spaces to enjoy the outdoor weather and to have fun with friends and family. I absolutely love this design. Even going back to some of the older Norwegian ships, the waterfront was always my favorite place, but they have just put the waterfront on another level on this ship, and I'm telling you, it is worth the price of admission. The day beds, the love seats, the chairs, the oceanfront lounges all create an effortless connection to the sea. It feels like a custom design, not a cookie-cutter blueprint. Architecturally, Aqua is sleek and sophisticated, filled with contemporary elements that make the ship feel airy, expansive, and artistically intentional. This isn't just a cruise, it's a floating design statement. Now, typically I leave those kinds of words for my celebrity cruises because those ships are just a work of art and you feel it as you walk through the corridors. But Norwegian really has put their foot into that mid-luxury category with this ship in terms of design. Now, a standout innovation on the Norwegian Aqua is the slide coaster. Now, they removed the go-karts that used to be at the top of the ship, which was fun as far as I know for everyone who ever tried it, but they have replaced it on this ship with a slide coaster, which is a dual tube racing slide that's both a thrill and a visual centerpiece. Unfortunately, rough Atlantic weather meant many missed the experience, but the concept shows Norwegian's commitment to bold and fresh ideas. Now, it looks like it's a lot of fun. Also impressive is the Glow Court, a multi-use sports venue that glows under LED lights for nighttime basketball, soccer, and games. You can also play during the daytime. But my favorite innovation that's on top of the ship is the 2-level mini golf course. That is spectacular. Now, most ships have a mini golf course, but it looks like it's something from the 70s, right? It's the same thing you've seen all the time on every ship, dating back at least when I started cruising, probably into the 80s at least. But this mini golf course is special. Every single hole seems intentional. There's something funky and fun with each hole that you enter in on this mini golf course, and it's 2 levels now on deck 16 and deck 17. That's a must do if you are on the Norwegian Aqua. Now, one of the things that made me fall in love with Norwegian was the observation lounge. I absolutely love the observation lounge in terms of how vast the views are that you get of these ocean views. Now, when I started cruising back on the Getaway, I eventually went on the Bliss, and the Bliss and the Joy, they have observation lounges that are massive and have almost 180-degree views as you walk around. They're so big they have grand pianos and dance floors. Now here it's definitely smaller and much more narrow, but you do still have these vast ocean views. While the observation lounge has evolved from its Bliss era grandeur, it remains a favorite. Now midship, with sweeping lateral views and cozy seating, it still offers afternoon bites, specialty coffees, and a full bar. Though more intimate, it's still the perfect retreat for ocean gazing in style. want to talk about the entertainment here on the Norwegian Aqua. Norwegian has always been my favorite spot for entertainment because of their Broadway style shows. When you say Broadway to me, I've been on Broadway many times. I want to see some high level acting, high level singing, and a live band. That's what says Broadway to me, and Norwegian really never did disappoint. And they didn't disappoint this time. The Revolution show was a spectacular show with so many great elements to it. I did a full review on it, and you can see that down in the description. It was such a good show, and to think that you get this show included in your fare, I never will understand why people don't cruise. It is the best bang for your buck of any entertainment you can ever get in the world, in my opinion. So Norwegian delivers these high caliber productions in the Aqua Theater. It's small in size but high in impact. Revolution was the standout, high energy, strong vocals, and a show-stopping rendition of Purple Rain that transformed the space into a tribute to Prince. Elements also offered engaging moments. Check out my full review that's coming on the Elements show as well. Now, the Rumor Show was a Fleetwood Mac celebration and tribute, and the band from Sid Norman's Poorhouse is the band that actually performs the Rumors Fleetwood Mac show in the Aqua Theater. This was a fan favorite, and people ran to get a seat for that show. There's nothing like live music on the open seas. Cleopatra Madonna Higgins, a former Voice contestant, performed a diva review featuring classics from Whitney Houston and Aretha and Chaka Khan. It was very admirable, and she definitely gave it her all, but I always feel like it's tough when you're trying to celebrate or emulate some of the strongest, most identifiable voices in history. These are icons, and it's tough. But the show was well worth the see. The onboard magician, Poe, was a miss for me. Low impact illusions and minimal crowd engagement. It just really wasn't a show that I would see again. He typically had to kind of ask for applause because the tricks were just not really hitting home. Now, I admire and I have so much respect for every artist. Being one myself, I know how hard it is to master your craft, and so I never like to poo-poo on any artist and that's giving their best show. But just as a point of clarity, it's not a show that I would see again. One unexpected gem was the R&B night in Sid Norman's Poorhouse, led by the Revolution cast. It was energetic, soulful, and arguably as good as the main show, to be honest. Seating is scarce. There's probably only 30 seats in the whole venue, so you have to line up early. And I lined up almost an hour early and still got one of the last few seats. So Sid Norman's is a hot spot, but that R&B show was chef's kiss. It was great. Their musical performances throughout the atrium and throughout the ship, the memorable duo there, I think they were brother and sister, they did some real classic acoustic, beautiful songs, and the singing was very high end, and I enjoyed them quite a bit. The pianist here, who is spotty throughout the ship, he's sometimes in the Metropolitan bar, sometimes in the casino, he was also very, very good. There was also a Michael Jackson tribute from the house band called the Classic Tones. The same note applies. If you're going to do Michael Jackson or anybody iconic like that, it's got to be, top notch. The one issue I had with the show is that the music wasn't all live. They played the tracks with a couple of instruments. But again, it's definitely a decent show, worth going to sit and have a drink and enjoy some good music. Now, the dining on the Norwegian Aqua was something of a surprise to me. I am typically a specialty dining type of guy. I like to get the highest quality food I can on the ship, but in this scenario, I found that the Norwegian Aqua had high quality food even in their main dining room. So much so that the specialty dining didn't feel as specialty. I know that sounds a little weird, but I didn't feel like I had to go to specialty dining once I was in the main dining room. Now, I did go to a few, and I'm going to tell you about those and my experiences there, but the main dining had some really, really strong quality, high-end food. Now, they didn't have a lot of variety, but what I did get there was always good and consistent, as was the service. The Hudson's restaurant was my favorite main dining restaurant. It is 270 degrees of window, ocean vast, glorious beautifulness staring at your face with some of the most glorious sunsets. And I just can't even imagine what you would pay on land for this level of view with that dining experience, and it's free. I mean, that is just mind-blowing. It's part of your fare, and it was just such a great experience in my opinion. The food, again, was consistent. It's good. Commodore's is kind of a darker themed restaurant, and you get kind of the porthole windows, but again, it was still very sleek and well done. Now, in terms of specialty dining, Cagney's is their steakhouse. And the food here was good. But again, I just didn't feel like it was miles above the main dining room. And it definitely wasn't on par with some of the other specialty steakhouses that I've experienced on the sea. Now, go ahead and fight me. Let me hear it in the comments. I want to hear your favorites. My favorite is probably Crown Grill on Princess. And second to that would probably be Royal. But Cagney's did have a great menu, and the food was good, and it was definitely a nice experience. And it's set right across from the Metropolitan, which is one of their most popular bars, and you can sit and have a drink before dinner at Cagney's when your reservation comes up. Onda serves elevated Italian cuisine. Though its menu felt limited to me, there was none of my favorites: chicken parm, spaghetti with meatballs, but the pizza was exceptional. It was high-end Italian fare, but I'm more of a rustic Italian guy. I like Jamie's on Royal Caribbean, where you get that home style, some nana in the kitchen cooking and kneading the dough out. Like, that is the Italian food that I love, and this just felt more like Italian food. Now, I'm not against that, and to each his own, but I like more rustic Italian fare, and that just wasn't this. And I've had it before, and I didn't remember that I didn't like it, so I tried it again, and I came away with the same experience. Now, Soku Thai was something I was really excited for because I love Thai cuisine, and it's one of their new restaurants here on the Aqua. I found the food to be really good. It was flavorful. I had the pad Thai there, and it was, pad Thai that you would buy at a corner Thai store, anywhere in LA. It really did have a good flavor and some good variety on the menu. I felt like it was a great specialty restaurant and something different. I don't know that any other ship has a Thai specialty restaurant that's just focused on Thai food. So I found that was really, really good. Again, it's a smaller venue, but you do have windows everywhere, beautiful views there as well. Now, I skipped Nama. I usually get the sushi restaurant. I love sushi, but the menu just seems so limited. There was only a few rolls on there. Now, if you're into sashimi, it did have a lot of sashimi on there, but the rolls themselves just didn't excite me. It's something that I planned to do and decided to skip. I also skipped Los Lobos, which is one of my favorite restaurants here on Norwegian. Their Mexican restaurant. I love the tableside guacamole, where they come and make that right at the tableside, but I did skip it this time in favor of some new entries, being the Thai restaurant. The buffet was solid, better than expected, and I heard that the ramen there, the broth was delicious. So if you're into ramen, I am not, but if you're into ramen, I heard that the ramen was really good in the buffet. Now, I did enjoy everything that came out of the buffet. The food, again, had a very high quality. I do wish there were more comforting classics like mashed potatoes and roasted chicken. I didn't see that a lot there. That is kind of my go-to whenever I go into the buffet, but I didn't see that in this case. And I'm sure it was there some nights. I didn't eat there every night, but at lunch I was typically there every day and I didn't see that. But the Asian food that I did get in the buffet was really good, high quality. I mean, I was just so surprised that the free food on Norwegian was as high as quality as it is. Really nice. Now, the local stands out as one of the few true 24-hour venues at sea. Not just pizza, you really can get a hamburger or some other goodies in the middle of the night if you want to go down to the local, and they always have sports going on there. It is a true sports bar, which I really appreciate here on the Norwegian Aqua. They do have a bar side where you can get bar bites and like hamburgers and wings, things like that, hot dogs, and then they have a full restaurant also. The bar side has a full bar there, and that's where all the televisions are. The full restaurant, you get all the full menu of the local. Really cool spot. But everyone has pizza or something that you can get late night. The real innovation here on the Norwegian Aqua, as with the Prima and the Viva, is the Indulge food hall. The first time I experienced this on the Prima, I was just so impressed by how they did this. And to me, Norwegian doesn't get enough credit. To have a 7-restaurant food court where you can sit down and order anything you want in small plate form from a tablet from your table, either outside or inside, and they just keep bringing you food. That's fantastic. That's brilliant. The Indulge food court was one of my favorite places, and all of the food that came out was good. The Q barbecue place used to be a specialty dining restaurant, and now you get it free in the Indulge food hall. It's really worth your time. The experience is seamless, smart, and delicious. Now, in terms of drinks, all cruise ships have tons of bars that you can go to. The Whiskey Bar is a standout. It's a nightly hotspot, boasting rare labels and an elegant ambiance. Just outside of Cagney's is the Metropolitan that I mentioned earlier. It's another sophisticated option with table ordering for convenience. Deck 7 is a hidden treasure. Oceanfront seating that practically kisses the waterline, serene, stylish, and perfect for quiet moments. The Primrose Atrium spans decks 6, 7, and 8. It's visually striking, and it is in the heart of the ship. That's where you'll find Starbucks on deck 7 and lots of other areas where you can find some seating right at the water's edge, right behind the Starbucks, and on the other side by the Internet Cafe. You really can get these prime seats where you can look at the water, and these comfortable, big, huggy type seats there that you can sit in all day basically and have drinks and coffee and that sort of thing. I did a lot of my work there looking out at the ocean. Just such beautiful, thoughtful spaces. And that really is the theme here on the Norwegian Aqua. Just about everywhere you look, you can see the water. I love that, where you don't feel so encapsulated inside of the ship, so you really get that outdoor-indoor experience as you're sitting throughout the ship. Now, in terms of connectivity, one of the things that you always need is to be able to connect to the outside world when you're on a cruise ship. Some other cruise ships have some terrible Wi-Fi, Princess being one of them. Sometimes it seems like a waste of money to even pay for it, but I can tell you with the introduction of the Starlink system here on the Norwegian, this was the best Wi-Fi I've ever experienced. And I know that some of you may be questioning that, but I cruise so often, and I'm always working on cruises. I'm always downloading video, uploading video, and this was definitely by far the fastest Wi-Fi I've experienced in any recent time that I can even imagine. Now, while the Wi-Fi soars, the app takes a dive. It is my least favorite thing on this entire ship. For example, if you want to know what's going on at a particular time, you have to go to the Freestyle Daily. And in the Freestyle Daily inside the app or the paper copy, now kudos for still giving the paper copies for those who want to look at that, but you have to go in there and then look through the whole thing in categories under entertainment or dining, and then break out the time. Whereas with other apps, you literally go into the app, it's 3 o'clock, the app says 3 o'clock, you're in the 3 o'clock time frame, and everything that there is to do is right there in the 3 o'clock time frame. And then you can choose to put those things into your to-do list, and you get a notification on your phone 30 minutes before the event is going to happen. That is how every cruise app should work at minimum, and Norwegian's app does not do that. Now, even when it comes to the main dining room, you want to be able to go in and look at the menu sometimes ahead of time, and you can't do that with the Norwegian app. You have to go down to the restaurant kind of look at the LED screen and see what actually is on the menu for that night. Whereas you could do that from your room on many other cruise lines and decide where you want to have your dinner. That to me is a minimum of any app. From exceptional food to redefined design and standout entertainment, the Norwegian Aqua is not just a ship, it's a statement. Hey lovers, that's it for this episode of Love on Tour. Please remember to like and subscribe. That is the currency of love here on YouTube, and we appreciate your time and taking a look. Remember, it's love above all, love will travel, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.